WouHou, doggo, and I sneeze. WouHou, doggo, and I sneeze.
Bonjour. Anyone there? Ahoy? Hello? Good mythical morning. Good mythical evening. Can you hear me alright? Can you hear the background alright? Hang on, Donut, I need to replay your sub. Give me a second. I need to log into Streamlabs like a dingus. Can you hear the background alright? Do you need me to raise it a little bit? Hang on. Here we go. Thanks for the 49 months, Donut. It's very quiet. Let me boost that. How about now? It's probably a bit loud, isn't it? I mean, I'm right next to the mic. I'm actually going to be sitting like this, because I need to type. How's this? How's this audio? This alright? This all good? Hey y'all! How's everyone doing today? Hello Calais, hello Donut, hello Dolphin. Someone else was here. Monas. Hey Monas. How's everyone today? Oh, Hackett as well. Me oh my. Sorry, I've got one of these, like, hot chocolates that's like a wooden stick with a bit of chocolate on the end, and it's the bit of chocolate on the end's fallen off into the hot chocolate, and it's just sitting at the bottom of this mug, and it's not melted. It's not really made of hot chocolate, it's just made like warm milk with a chocolate lump at the bottom. Oh, but it's lovely. Thank you, Minor Figures. Oat milk. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm a little late today, sorry. How is everyone? If you don't remember the last WouHou stream, we were working on iframes, I think, and like the ability to take damage. So everyone here's got like really long iframes so we could test it. I think they have different iframes too. Like this one's there, this one's that. Yeah, this one has a longer iframe than this one. And then the character's something stupid. Yeah. Cool. You're trying to morph targets with your Vulcan shader. My dude, that sounds horrifying. Donut, I haven't implemented any of the changes or updates that you sent me on Discord yet. I haven't touched WouHou in like a week or two, whenever we last streamed it. So I'm just going to be sticking on the current version for now. Hey, New Paris. Dude, I'm enjoying being a PNG tuber. We just got our flat deposit back. Do you think I should immediately, instead of saving it for a house deposit one day, I should instead spend it on a 600 quid VTuber rig? It's a bullet hell. Yeah. So, for context, Neo, a few years ago, during lockdown, when I was full-time streaming, I was programming WouHou 1. You can flick through the second YouTube channel for the VODs for that. And then I didn't touch it for a few years, and then I picked it back up maybe last year, which is what you're seeing here. This is like a rewrite. So we're just slowly re-adding features and doing stuff again. Hopefully a bit more intelligently, but obviously, you know the case. I'm less tired today. I was actually considering Osu, but I thought maybe you lot wanted something else today. No new model, just rig the current PNG. Hell yeah. I don't know what Mimir is. I thought that was a Terraria YouTuber. Give it to you. You want 600 quid, chat? Speaking of 600 quid, not 600 quid, I finally bought a coffee grinder, so I'll be taking that to Aussie with me. Or a portable one, I should say, like a handheld one. I'm looking forward to having good coffee again. It's been a while. I'm gonna be so cracked out. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. Just to start with things here, let's set the what was I gonna say? Let's set the iframes back to something reasonable now that we're no longer really testing that system. I reckon a good project for today, we've got some easy stuff to do, right? We can have a player's live system where if the player dies, it doesn't crash. It respawns the player after a little timer, and then maybe it restarts. I don't know how I'd do a restart. I'll have to work that out. The hand grinder actually grinds coffee. Yeah. Anyway, I've been drinking a lot of instant. It's not good. It's not fond memories of uni, I'll tell you that. Anyway, let me try and remember our way around here. Timer.reset. That's not what I meant. I meant reset the playfield. Because right now the game doesn't really have a state. It just is. Like, at launch it spawns 2 enemies in the player. There's no script or anything. So maybe we come up with some very, very generic, weak spawning script. Because remember how we said the game was going to run on a timeline, right? Like this, left to right? where, you know, at like 5 seconds it would spawn these enemies, and then these enemies, and then these enemies, and then these enemies. We could write some very, very basic thing, maybe just even tied to like a timer, that just every 5 seconds it spawns an enemy or something. At a random position, maybe. Just for now. And then that gives us something to build off when we actually make the wave system. You're listening to what you're saying in your 1.7.3, you heard your plan's a small game. Yeah. It's fun to have side projects. Because otherwise I just spend all day at work, and programming becomes a bit less fun. There's an awful lot of admin with actual work. That I'm not doing any admin right now. I'm just going. I'm gaming. How's everyone's day been then? As I said, I'm surprisingly more awake today. I've been very tired last week. I didn't even get that much sleep last night, but I'm just decently awake. I guess I've had a relaxed day. Well, somewhat. Stressful start of the day, and then after about 2 o'clock, less stressful. What am I? I'm looking for... Where did I... Probably Template Factory, right? Here we go. So the player can have iframes. The player shouldn't have any iframes, honestly. The player should just fucking die. So we'll need to work that out. I think. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the player having a health bar. I haven't really thought that hard about game balance yet. Ah, RNG. Thanks for the 3 years. Thank you. Oh shit, I think we also did a crowd... I forgot, we did focused fire as well, I think. So if you hold shift... Hang on, it's building. If you hold shift, you move a bit slower. I think it shows your hitbox. I don't actually remember. The day was good, but don't linger on the past. Focus on the present and strive for a better future. Alright, Anime MC. Sadistic game devs say players should just die. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Just murder the player instantly. Good lord, that one tiny change took that long. Hey, here we go, look. You see this? We have like a little... You can move really quickly, and then if you want... if you want to see your hitbox and you want to go into focus fire mode, you hold shift and you can go a little slower. It's a little easier to manage. That's fun. What are the sprites? I actually had like a decent set of sprites for the last game, but they've thrown most of them away. I redrew some stuff just to have it. I've completely forgot. But I just made some little like temporary bullet sprites last stream. Just chuck some stuff together. For testing. Obviously in an actual bullet hell, you make the bullets a lot bigger than the hitbox. This is the player sprite from the first game, but shrunk down. Like, squished up. This was the actual player sprite. We had, like, loads. And then here's the booby waifu cat that we made. This is horrifying. I'm glad you think so. I mean, this was cool. I made this at some point. But I need to get my, my palette back. I made a big palette. Like, a whole... I spent, like, loads of time coming up with a game palette. And it's not... Either it's not on the Steam Deck or it's somewhere. Looking very retro. Yeah, I mean, the graphics aren't what I care about right now. It's the actual programming bit. The graphics can come whenever I feel like it. I have a lot of very long plane flights in my future, so maybe then. Maybe recycle some stuff from the old version. Oh, I will. Don't worry. But I'll be redoing a lot. I've changed the scale of the game. The original game, the player was 32 by 32, and everything felt a bit weirdly big. Whereas now I play, I think, 16 by 16. I think I prefer that. We had a whole few couple streams at the start of Season 2, which is this, like, rewrite, where we were talking about design and stuff. Not that. We're going to move on. Enemy. Spawn test enemy. You are coming from the game section. Here we go. So one of them has an iframe of 2 seconds. We're going to give them an iframe of, like, 0.25 or something. Doesn't matter, but... Just now. Let's write... What do we start with? We have two choices. We can either start with the thing that stops the game from crashing when the player dies, or we can write the thing that spawns enemies constantly. I guess the right thing to do is add that life system, huh? Let's do that. Let's do that. How am I going to store lives? If I ever choose to have multiplayer like Touhou 9, they shouldn't just have a global lives. I should have lives tied directly to the player. But then that means if I want to kill the player, I can't actually just destroy the player object, because then I'd lose track of that. But there's a few ways around that. I could limit the number of players to just like 1 or 2, and then just keep track of that in like a small list. Something easy. Or I could just tie it to the player object. I kind of like the idea of being able to destroy the player object at will, and it just being like a visual representation of some coordinates. Lives could always be a component. Yeah, that's another thing, because some enemies, maybe I want like a life. What's Touhou like? What does it mean? Touhou is a fairly old, I guess what we now call like indie game. It's been around forever, very influential. And it's a bullet hell, made by one guy. You'll have seen Touhou everywhere, even if you didn't know it. Anywho, making lives a component isn't too stupid. You have a game called Touhou Lunar Nights. It's a fan game. That's a Metroidvania fan game. The thing with Touhou is the creator's very, very lax with his copyright. He lets a lot of people make like fan content. It's partly why it's so big. There's like an insane doujin market. Still feels like a bullet hell. Oh, it is, yeah. It's but it's like a side scroller. Normal Touhou is like a traditional like Galaga sort of thing. Sorry, I'm just like, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to stir this hot chocolate because I've got very little milk left in this massive lump of chocolate, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Sorry. I guess we can just make lives a component and make it brain dead. I could make it so when the player's respawning, it's not that it destroys the player object, it's just that it's in like a weird state. Like right now we have the focused state. We could have like a dead, like a respawning state where the sprite is completely invisible. I don't even have to lock off movement, or I could. The sprite's invisible, maybe like movement input doesn't do anything, keyboard input doesn't do anything, and then after a timer, they get respawned somewhere. Maybe another timer gets set off to show them blinking for a second. Maybe I give them iframes actually when they respawn, so the player totally needs iframes. Respawning without iframes is extremely BM. Let's do that. That sounds cool. Components. Let's just make one. Chuck it in here next to health. Should it not just be in health? You could represent the state by which components attached. Yeah, because the way I had done state with focus was, I think, a bit quick. Oh, thanks, my dude.
I did use it.
Is that what you did with yours?
That's a spoon I've used.
Sorry?
It's a spoon I've used.
Oh, thank you, Spoonstuffer. She's just giving me a big-ass spoon. Yeah, here we go. I was using movement modifier, but I could totally see this being another component. Although, how would I do that? Sorry. That would make it really easy to add variables to specific states. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be movement modifier. I could just give him a new component. So I could have a struct called, like, focused, for example, and then that replaces this. And I just check to see if the player is in the focused. Yeah, actually, that seems really smart. Let's do that, actually, quickly. We get rid of the idea of a movement modifier. And we just have, focused. Or, movement focused? Focused. I don't really know the best way to write this, so I'm just going to do this for now, and if you have a better idea, let me know. We're going to have this. Focus is equal to false. Why is this being used? Oh, this is unused, I think. I think we just had that in there as a legacy thing. Must be. Okay, let's have a look. So, for every entity with a movement input, if the focus button is pressed, we want to do registry dot add. I don't remember what it is. Registry dot. It's like insert, maybe? I think it's insert. I don't really remember the syntax, sorry. In place, okay. Ah, in place at this type. Focus. Sorry, it's been like a couple of weeks since we've written this. Focused. Entity type. Entity. This would be just the entity, I think. Maybe that's it? Something simple? What's up? Hey, Waste. Do I need to include that, maybe? No, you've got components. Is it not called focused? What did I call it? It's called focused. Hey, everyone. I like this, because then you can have multiple or none. So we get rid of this. And then can we do registry.remove, maybe? Like this. This would just add the component every frame. You could fix that by using just press instead of is press. Is there... I know it sounds stupid, but is there actually a downside to adding them constantly? The squiggles I see haven't saved it. Oh, my bad. I guess the Steam Deck isn't that strong. Ah, there we go. Because theoretically you could do, if it's pressed and if they're not in it, add them. But then, like, what's wrong with constantly adding? Surely this is just an order one thing that happens. And I know just pressed would make sense. In a stupid way, though, wouldn't that mean, like, you know, if they click off the window and then they hold shift and then they click on the window, that would mean they aren't focused even though they're holding down the button. You know what I mean? Like, there's some games do that and I find it kind of frustrating, where they tie something to the actual button being the instant it's pressed rather than while it's held. And I always find that kind of annoying. Are you doing well without me, Waste? You must be missing me like a little bit, right? I thought that's how this whole parasocialism thing worked. I'm gonna stick with this. It seems... I know it looks kind of shitty, but, like, computers aren't... Well, this doesn't cause, like, a massive lag spike, would it? Entity doesn't allow in place if it's already in there. There's a different function, maybe in place or assign. You'd have to check the logs. Let's have a look. Assigns it to an entity. It must be a proper type or an aggregate. Attempting to assign a component to an entity that already has it results in undefined behavior. Oh shit, yeah, look. So maybe I would have to check. In place or replace. Assigns or replaces the given component for an entity. Timed to assign or replace. Maybe I could just use that? Oh, you can use patch as well. It's handy. Replaces the current. Let's try this. In place or replace. Maybe that's it. Let's see if this works. So we don't want to check movement modifier. We want to do... We want to check the registry. If I think it's like registry.get or something. I don't quite remember the syntax. Hang on, we use just pressed here, don't we? Maybe this is irrelevant. I just saw it. Ah, no, it's just for this stuff. What was I talking about? Oh, this. Let's instead do registry.get. Maybe it's try-get? Focused entity? Is this what I think it is? Maybe not. Yeah, you could use that. I'm not sure what the performance implications are. Do whatever makes sense. Removes might have had the same problem. I think it requires a component to be present. Well, we can just keep that in the back of our head as a potential... what's the word? improvement we could make. If it turns out that it's actually a significant performance issue. Because I know in, like, with a set, I know that the registry isn't just a set. But if you just constantly add something to a set over and over again, it doesn't really have a performance drop. It doesn't really do anything. I'm just eating chocolate with a spoon now. Do you want it, Chris?
No.
That was nice.
Good.
Don't keep it in the back of your head, take a note. Mona's, you're right. Well, how should we tag stuff? We could do like to do perf or something. Because then we could like search through for all the to-dos that match this tag. And we could use that as like a standard in the code base. I feel like there's a better word. I can't think of what it is. There's a word for like a performance improvement. I can't remember what it is though. Anyway, there's a registry.view. That's it. No? No, it's not registry.view. Isn't it? No, hang on, this is registry.target. Oh. Hang on. Why wasn't this working? Wait, why is health okay? But focused isn't? Maybe it's just a bug. Maybe it's just the IDE being weird. Surely the fact that health has parameters isn't the reason that it's succeeding. Okay, yeah, sorry I typed the comment wrong, or whatever. Because it's empty. It actually is because it's empty. Alright. Classic C++. Maybe it is get. Has. Hello, Sokia. You'll look it up. Thanks. Yeah, it's not get. Whatever. For now, this is fine. I could make it so focused is actually like speed drop or something, and then I could give it a value. All of. Alright. All of. Checks if an entity is part of all the given storage. What? Oh, as if. Nah, it seems odd. I don't get why that needs to be different. What's the difference in C++ between an empty struct and a filled struct? Okay. It's so you can do registry all of position, velocity, etc. Oh, you get all of, and then you have multiple components you're checking for. Okay. So you can have focused and sneezing, or something. If the player needs to only move slower when they're sneezing. It's just an entity thing. Oh, okay. Sure. Seems weird. What's the point? Like a performance benefit, maybe. We just need to remove all these movement modifier things now. if registry dot all of focused entity. Go on. All right, so this should just work, hopefully, or it crashes because we've used some function incorrectly. Components, the components that don't hold any data don't need storage. They just need the flag if they're present. That's sensible. That's fair. It's an optimization then. Damn, the Steam Deck is really not a programming machine, is it? It's so weird having a program that's probably like 2 kilobytes take this long to hey, it totally works. Taking this long to compile. I probably don't need to keep printing this collision text, huh? Alright, whatever. Let me out of here. Cool. Good start. Let's have a entity for lives. Components. Did I make that yet? No. Here we go. Look. So I'll have a struct lives, and I'll have a Boolean respawning. Right. So if something runs out of health and it has no life component, it just gets fucking erased from reality. Didn't you have like a fancy thing for you in E10? I don't know, there might be a better note with this. Respawning could be a component like focus containing the respawn timer. That's true. But I was thinking, like, if you have lives, you inevitably are always going to be able to respawn. Those were like, those in my head seem like they are directly coupled. Right? Unless I want to use spawning as its own component, irrelevant of lives. If like an enemy spawns something and I want it to have iframes for a second. Although the iframes are in the health component right now. Those are already coupled. So really, lives are directly tied to there being health. Do lives need to be their own? It doesn't seem to me like there'd be a massive performance hit from things having one life. Like if I just do this, you know? They're not livers. Removing flags and replacing them with existence-based predication is a good thing. Does it not overcomplicate the system a bit? Is there a big performance benefit to using a component instead of just a boolean? Because I'd have thought a boolean is one of the most lightweight things you can possibly have. And having just like respawning tied directly to health instead of having your own health component floating around. Like we're going to end up with a system where components either have 1 or 0 member variables, and then there's just 100,000 components to keep track of. Whereas like grouping them up like health, where current health and sure, we could like put these things off into their own component, but like where do you draw the line? When is there going to be lives but no health, in the sense that, oh fine, the player dies in one hit, you just set the health to 1 or whatever? But then for every other possible thing in the entire game, they'd have a health number. So separating it just for the sake of the player technically not needing it seems like an overcomplication. I think the less, the better. Balls are really inefficient. Yeah, I know in terms of the fact that they don't fill up a whole byte. But, like, come on, dudes. Your computer spins around at 5 gigahertz. 7 bits isn't going to make a difference. I think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go with it. If we run into issues, there's nothing stopping us from just sticking it back out there. I'm trying to think if there's an issue with... The only thing, like, putting respawning in its own component would save is if I want to do a check, I'd have to do health.respawning instead of registry dot whatever respawning entity. That just seems silly. I'm trying to think why would you ever respawn without health? That seems like a real dingus move to me. Let's make everything have 1 life by default. The branch instruction bit. Yeah. I'm just going to do this. I don't care, I'm going to be honest. If it starts mattering, then whatever. I don't think it matters right now. I'm never going to make progress if we fuck around with 7 bits at a time and branch predictions and nose picking. Like, you know, did you pick your nose a bit too deep? It's very inefficient to have a nosebleed, you know. It's like a huge waste of time. Have you scratched your bum? You know, you gotta go have a good scratch. Sure, Donut. These aren't objects, you're right. These... Because I get that I'm doing health.lives or whatever, or like health.whatever, instead of checking lives less than, but like, that seems like such a, who cares? I think I don't. I'm gonna move on with my life. Alright. I like this. We had the culling system. So for every entity with health, if their current health is less than 1, so they're about to be killed. If health dot... oh, have I not saved it? Save that. Come on. There we go. If health.lives less than equal to 0, destroy it. This looks nice to me. I'm sure it's silly to you, but this is nice to me. Oh, good lord. Health.lives minus equals 1. Health.current health is equal to health.max health. This seems extremely sensible to me. And I know you've just typed something up to tell me why I'm wrong. But I really like this. I feel like I need a respawn timer. I haven't worked that quite out yet. Maybe instead of respawning, we make respawning into a timer. I think that makes a lot of sense. Although respawning is really the iframes, but I guess we could separate it into 2 different timers. Is that sensible? Or should we use the iframe timer? No. Does respawn time need to be specified? I guess so. Make everyone... Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go with this. Where's your timer thing? Where was I putting the timer for iframes? Where are you? Sorry. I don't remember. Alright, let's have a look. Why am I wrong? If you had a respawning component, you could loop over all entities with a respawning component and perform the logic. Having a ball in the health, you have to add extra logic to the loop that only works on health to check whether or not it is also respawning or not and execute some special code. Right. Perhaps. You know what? I've had an idea. I've not had an idea. I agree with you. I mean, no. I'm thinking about what you said, because now I've had an image in my head, right? Which is probably what you meant to do. With this focused thing, right? We attached the focus component to that entity when you're holding shift, and then we got rid of it. With the respawning component, that would solve a lot of the issues I was thinking about having regarding, you know, how would I block movement and stuff. That would be stupid, tying respawning to health. Because if I'm the movement component, I don't really care what the health of the entity is. I don't want to have to flick through every individual component that could affect movement. I just want to check to see if they have the respawning thing. Yeah, you know what? I've come around to it. You're right. Thinking about it more. I just couldn't think of a good reason why. I was thinking of this, right? This is nice and comfy, right? You see this? Do you see why? I was thinking this looks lovely, right? This looks like your nice Game Maker, my first game code. If your health is less than 1, check your lives. If they're less than 0, destroy them. Otherwise, knock a life off, set their health back to max, and set them to respawning. This seemed nice and, like, simple. But that's just this. For every other thing, it's kind of weird to have them tied together. It doesn't matter what I think in my head, right? I don't need to keep track of everything in the game in my head as much as I want to. So let's have a respawning component. Did I remember to add a semicolon earlier? I did. Okay. Alright. Get rid of that. We want a timer in here, I think. Is lives and health a bad thing? I don't think so. I think lives and max health and health are basically the same thing. We could theoretically get rid of lives and just have it so your health is a remainder multiplier of your fucking health or some stupid rubbish. I think this is fine. Time last hit. Wait, hang on. Is this how we were doing the timer? Oh yeah. Okay. So we didn't actually have a timer. Wait, hang on. Why wasn't I using a timer? I feel like I had some snarky excuse for it, but I don't remember what I said. I think I said this makes sense in my head because this is how I always do it. What was wrong with the timer thing? I think I said it was too... stupid. Something like that. It sounds like something I'd say, doesn't it? I think I didn't like the syntax. I didn't see the reason to overcomplicate it when this float did the same thing. Because your timer thing is basically just this. So I didn't see any reason to include the rest of the fluff. Which I still kind of maybe I agree with. Like, what's wrong with, like... I know you hate this. You know? Or whatever, like time since last hit as well. Well, hang on. Let me think about this. Should I reuse the time since last hit thing? The timer is relative to 0. You could do the same thing with a float if you want. Well, I set this to -9999 so when the game starts, everyone doesn't have iframes. Because when the game starts, the tick time of the game is 0. There's been 0 ticks, so technically it's, you know, that's why this number is -999. That's to get around that. Might be interesting. I'll have a look. I couldn't control click on stuff last time I was programming, so I was just kind of running on Steam. God, this music's great. Is this from Valhalla? I should play that. I feel like I was gifted it as well. Adds time, subtracts time. We've used duration. Countdown. Yeah, I guess it's just like a helper function, huh? Hey, Antondi. How are you? It's a template to timer, so you could do timer floats, float. Right. Oh, I guess I was... In Swift, duration is like a special struct that Apple put together to help you with time. Where it's equal to like seconds, but it's got loads of nice helper functions. What's it in this? Whatever, let's leave the iframe thing for now. How do I want to handle the respawn timer? Does the respawn... Wait, did I have a respawn component? Where did it go? Did I not... Why did I get rid of you? Come back. It's any type. Sure. He just named it duration. Right. How are you, Antondi? How do I want to handle respawning? I feel like having a timer for it isn't so bad. Is WouHou on GitHub? It is, but it's not public right now. It would be a pretty useless educational exercise if some people just made pull requests and finished the entire game for me. Maybe if I start getting to tedious bits, I could open source it. Like, as if this isn't open source. This is like... The door's half open and you can look in the room, but sure, you have to look through every single VOD and copy over the code line by line. It's kind of open source. In a weird way. Without a... without a license. Oh, of course, yeah. I just don't want someone going on there and, inverted commas, cleaning up my code for me, inverted commas. Extremely insulting. So I imagine if someone like looked at your school book as a kid and like rewrote everything for you. Now this just doesn't look so pretty to me. Like, thanks, that's really good. Helps me learn when you needlessly insult me. You'd pick all the inconsistent snake case variables. Sure. Whenever I install an IDE that has a reasonable refactoring system. Leave it for now. It doesn't actually do anything, you know. The variables are just there to look at. If you don't look at them, they can't hurt you. Look. It's gone. See? Don't worry. Hide it away. It does, F2. Does F2 work today? Ah, it does. Lovely. There you go. Did that actually work? No, it's fucked it up. Alright. Well, anyway, sorry. The respawn timer. Does it need to be its own timer or should it piggyback off the iframe timer? I'm thinking it can have its own timer. What's wrong with that? That simplifies a lot of things. I could have some respawn system that just... I feel like I need a position to respawn something to. How would I store that? Where would I have that? I feel like objects need a... What other than the player would respawn? I'm really trying to think. It's very much a player thing. Where would I store the position to respawn something at? Because if the player gets hit, I'm thinking they go invisible, some particles spawn, the game acts as if the player's just disappeared. You know, like nothing shoots at it. And then like a second later, they appear at their starting position, and with some iframes for like a second. Maybe respawning could just be an empty struct. I just assume everything with respawning could have a health. Yeah, I was gonna do that, Dona. I was gonna ignore the component. I was going to ignore inputs if the respawning component's there. But I was thinking, how do I know where to put them? Is it just the player that's gonna respawn? And as such, should I just have some flag, some global thing somewhere that says like player start position, and then just chuck them there? Because then that's kind of stupid if I have two players somehow, and they both respawn in the exact same place. So should there be a component that says like start position, but then that's kind of stupid as well? It doesn't sound quite right. So should the respawning struct itself have like a position to move when respawned function? Or should I handle all of this in the cull system, where whenever the health hits 0, I instantly move them? But then I don't think I want to instantly move them, because then the drawing function might not have time to catch up. There might be some weird bullshit, and they look like they flick back to the spawning position for a second. You took respawn position in a player or a new component. You know what? Yeah, new component. Maybe I just have like spawn position, because then I can use that for fucking everything, right? Not everything. Technically, the bullet would need that, because it's got fire position. So maybe I move this fire position thing into a spawn position, right? And if I needed memory for some reason, I could constantly clear spawn positions from stuff that exist. You get me? Like maybe every entity by default is respawning when it's created. It's moved to some firing position, and then the flag for respawning is and then the component for respawning is removed. I mean, it's a little stupid for like the bullets, for example, but like, isn't the fire position a relative offset from the shooter's position? Is it? I don't remember. By the way, ever since you made me do control click, it's oh no, it's working now. For the last little bit, it's not let me control click on stuff. Okay, it just doesn't want to control click on this. It'll control click on shot speed, just not. Is fire position not used? It's not used. Maybe start velocity contains it. Start position, add transform. Oh, I guess transform has it as the start as the positions like this. Yeah, Clown's a little stupid. It looks like right now I'm literally just placing the bullet there directly, which is the most sensible thing to do. But maybe some things... Really, this is useful for things that are placed at a delay, right? Because otherwise we just know where to put something. If something isn't placed at a known position... In which case then, shouldn't spawn position always be tied to respawning? But then it shouldn't, because you won't have the respawning component. Oh, stupid. How about I was gonna say, then when I respawn them, I move them to if they have the respawn position component, I chuck them there. Otherwise, I put them in like the middle of the screen. But at that point, that seems really stupid. Just put it in player. But what if I want to use this spawning thing for other things? You know, start position. Okay, this isn't a good gameplay example. This isn't a good gameplay example. It's not a good gameplay example. But say there's a thing that spawns bullets that when they hit the player, they get destroyed, and then they go back to where they started. And then it spawns another one. That would use this system. But I feel like the way we'd probably implement that is actually just to have like an invisible gun at that position. You no longer smell sweaty. You're in the wrong stream. This is for sweaty gamers only. Dude, chucking in player seems silly then, because then we'll have the respawning flag removed, and then we have to check if it's a player to move it. Otherwise, what? It's just like a second iframe component, which is stupid. Right? You see what I'm getting at? And now I'm starting to think maybe just having respawning as a flag makes sense. No, that's stupid. Because, like, if I had a component called, like, spawnable that has spawn position and respawning, and then you set respawning as a boolean, that's true or false. But then it might as well be part of position, no. The idea of having different components is to make the system more straightforward and less special cased. I do love special K. No, but then I'm worried that I'll forget to add a component that needs it, and it turns out that these two components are basically tied together in every single way but name, which overcomplicates the system. There's no point decoupling things just for the sake of decoupling things, right? That to me just seems really fucking messy. If two things are literally always seen together, why should they not just be glued together? You know? Your suggestion for avoiding this is to update the appropriate entity template as soon as you add the new component, that way you can't forget. Update the appropriate entity template as soon as you add a new component. What? What are you on? Like spawn player. I guess the game doesn't have to be that complicated in the end, right? We'll probably end up with like 5 things, and then every other part of the game is just those 5 things, but with a slight recolor. Like, oh, this enemy is an enemy that has health and moves, but in a slightly different way. Or this is a bullet that has a projectile speed and this sprite. But then there's 100 of them that are slightly different. But really, the actual number of things in the game are quite low. The number of systems, I suppose. Fine, let's just write something then. Where do you draw the line between thinking and actually writing, though? Because I wrote without thinking earlier, and now I'm thinking without writing, and now I'm writing after having thought. You get me? It's a tough life. What's up? Oh. Let's just do this. Whatever. I don't like the idea of a system where you have to remember to do it. I like things being forced. But whatever. Template factory. Let's do a, let's add some more stuff. Is that right? Maybe that's unnecessary. This feels wrong. Somehow. You've already regretted thinking too much. You've definitely regretted writing it. Yeah, but is that not just like cherry picking? Like, obviously you regret something that's actually had an effect rather than something ethereal floating in your head. It's very hard to blame yourself for something you thought about. Spawn player. I like this. What's that? Oh, you need to be a funny boy, don't you? There you go. Alright. This looks cool. Maybe respawning should just have the timer. Maybe that's fine. Didn't I have a short? Is that timer 2? I felt like I had a shortcut for timer. Maybe it's just donut timer. Time remaining. Timer float should work by itself. Yeah? Loading. Okay. Cool. What are we doing? Culling system. It sounds so violent. Like what they're doing with all the bird flu. Registry, dot in place, respawning, entity. God, it's so hard to type on these servers. Hang on. That's not right. Shouldn't it be like this? Donut, explain to me. If I just do this, I feel like this shouldn't work, but I guess the compiler doesn't know. The pre-compile or whatever. Would this just create... This would probably not compile, or this would crash. But there's the idea that this would just put a empty... The default constructor, yeah, so it would just call an empty struct in this place. Whereas in, like, if this was time remaining equals 3, this would just chuck a default respawning object in. But I'm assuming this just wouldn't compile, or it would have some issue. Because or I guess this is just undefined, right, in C++? That this would compile and run, but it could just do anything. It would say, like, time remaining not defined or something. Would this be a runtime or a compile time error in C++? Because, like, Kotlin and Swift would never let you do this. There's a default constructor that sets the timer to be 0. Oh, yeah? Okay. So this would just immediately fire, I guess. Sure. But then I want to do... I want to set the time remaining to... I don't know, like... Is this milliseconds? Like 1,000? What's the syntax for this? Oh. If it was just a float, it would have an undefined initial value. It would just be something. Whatever memory was sitting there before. Okay. Or is this frames? I feel like we had this issue before. Well, whatever. Time should always be in seconds. Okay. Well, let's set it to like 5. Let's set it to 5 seconds. Well, I guess we're testing this. Set it to just 2. But in actual gameplay, that should definitely be like 5, so you can think about your mistake. So we set the health back to full. Let's actually chuck respawning at the top. I don't know if we'll ever do multi-threading. We'll probably fuck everything up. But we'll make it respawn. We'll set the health back to max. We'll deduct one of the lives. Carry on with our merry way. And then I guess I'd need a respawning system. God, it's so... Is there really not a better way than having a new system for every single component like this? Okay, I'm just more used to like the Java syntax. The standard time library always does stuff in milliseconds. I thought that would have been based on C++, but I guess not. Do I really just need to make a new system every single bloody time? Do I want to do it on tick or update? How often do I want the timer to be done? Collision. You are collision. You're being done in tick. This can be respawn system. Like, do I really need to make a new system for fucking everything? You can certainly group them into bigger. Really, it should be in the health system then. I didn't make a health system though. I had a culling system. Health is just everywhere. Yeah, might make it less flexible. Yeah, I suppose so. Let's just do this for now. We'll just make a respawn system. Really, I could make a timer system that deducts timers based on things. You know? Like, if every timer needs to be modified, I could just do every single timer in the one system. Because why not? So really, timer itself should be a component. Maybe not. But maybe? Component with a tag? No, that's silly. Alright, tick. Let's have a look. We want we want to call this fucking WouHou system collision system. I need to make sure this middle click isn't about to paste my home address. Because middle click in this is multi-line, and also paste your home address. It has a dual purpose. It's so useful. WouHou system respawn system. Don't need shapes. Respawn system. So for every respawn thing, for every entity that wants to respawn, actually, I could keep this thing. Oh, I love you, rainbow brackets. Beautiful. You know that picture of Gordon Ramsay where he's like talking to the children's chef and he's like, beautiful, darling. And then he's talking to the adult chef and he's like, you fucking donkey. That's me with rainbow brackets, dude. Beautiful. Beautiful. Lovely. So helpful. Wait, shouldn't system include all the components? Yeah, I don't know why you're so angry. Is it respawning? Yeah. Respawning. Or respawning. So, for every entity that's respawning... Oh, I guess I also want things that are respawning and also have a... No, I don't. Sorry, if... Oh, this is stupid. Hang on, this isn't what I want to do. I want to increment my son. And you have a function for that. Respawn dot time remaining dot countdown loop? I don't remember the function. One of these returns a boolean. The trigger, maybe. I want it to count down. This isn't right. Any reason you make a named variable for the view? I was just replacing the code that was already here. If you don't like this, we'll put it in here, don't worry. I think in the collision one there was a reason for it. It's because I go over it twice, I guess. I didn't really think about it. What's the function I'm looking for here? I wanna count the timer down and then check to see if it's finished. So whatever that function is. And then I want to do if auto whatever equals registry dot. What was it? All of? All of or any of? I guess that's any of. Yeah. Respawn position? So if the entity has a respawn position, put it there. Otherwise, put it here. Just countdown. Oh. What is it? Tick interval? That's not right. The average time between ticks. Number of ticks that have been processed, the time. I guess it's process tick time. This is when you're about to tell me why I should have implemented your changes, because you've fixed all of this up. Tick intervals convert. Oh, yeah. Wait, hang on, what's countdown? Oh, this is the time to subtract. This isn't the global timer, this is just the amount of time since the last tick. Alright. Well, you know what I mean. What's 1 doing here? Target time should just be 0, right? Why is this not 0 by default? Well, whatever, who cares? I'm just going to say 0. I'm not going to question. We can leave it out. Does it have a default? Doesn't seem to have a default yet. Maybe you added that in a later version. So I'm assuming most countdown functions are counting down to 0. Unless specified. Otherwise, it's not much point in using this over just a float. So if the entity here, vec3 respawn position is, let's just say, well, I guess I could find the entities. If it has a transform, I could get its current position as its respawn position, but for now, let's just do let's just do here. We actually didn't I have like a center of the screen? Yeah, screen center X, screen center Y. What the fuck is Z doing here? 0.F? I don't quite remember. What's wrong? Unused, okay. Respawn position. Well, let's just do this, actually, to maintain the same naming scheme. Is this not right? Hey, cluster. Am I learning Dutch? Nee, dankjewel. Well, this in my head should be right. Why is it not? Is this not? It's just a ball. So it's just saying if it's in there. Is it not? Should it not be like try get then? Like this? There's no optionals. Yeah, you want to try get, yeah. Oh, I need to use this one of these boys. Yeah, that's right. So does this do what I think it does? Is this right? How's it going? Hello. A sleeve and woolet. That's right. Honestly, you could just leap over everything with respawning and respawn position in the first place. No, I'm just thinking, like, if we do forget, we can chuck them in the center of the screen. You know, that's alright. There's horny cats outside. Jeez, close the window. Leave them to it. So I'm thinking, you know, I could also do, like... You know, else if, you know, like, current position. Like, if they don't have a respawn position, maybe I try to get, like, transform. And then I actually set the position to transform dot like, previous position, you know? It's like fluff. None of this really matters. This is like, yes, you're completely right, but I like the idea of there being, like, a little bit of logic in here. You know? If there's a previous position, maybe I wanted to go back there. Whatever. Whatever. The entity should have a transform, really. In fact, the entity has to have a transform, because that's all I care about here. But ignoring that. If the countdown is ran out, we want to... we need to add a list here. I forget, we're not meant to modify the registry while we're looping over it, right? We were worried that would have undefined behavior. So do I need to keep a list here of entities to remove? And then afterwards, I remove them all. Or can I just remove it in here? Like registry dot... Deleting the current one is okay. You get what I'm asking, right? Like, is this... This isn't going to cause issues, because I guess it's not affecting... We've already got our view here. We've gone over it. We're not using it anymore. So we're marking this to be removed some later function somewhere. You're not sure. How was I doing it in cull system? For every entity, registry.destroy. Oh shit, that's just destroy. I mean, if this works, this must work. If registry.destroy is running and it's still, the loop still works, this is probably fine. Remove respawning from the entity. The thing has to have a transform. So this is useless. Well, useless is a... I mean, this doesn't matter. This could just be this. Probably says it in the component for remove. Removes it. And then tells you how many were removed. I think it's fine. Because here, I'm doing the view here before anything's been removed. Who cares if it gets removed at this point? It's not going to... It's going to change the registry, but it's not changing our view on the registry. I'm not removing something in the future, right? I'm not, like, redoing the view. So I think this is fine. I think this is fine. We'll see. You know, if it isn't, whatever. My computer isn't going to probably blow up. It might, actually. Well, let's find out. That sounds like an exciting bug. Alright. If position... How do I check if something isn't isn't instantiated yet? Like if it's null pointer. Or should I just turn it into null pointer? You can't always find out. Oh, that's exciting. I like that. Guess this isn't okay. You get what I mean, right? Like, if the position doesn't exist yet... I guess I can just chuck this in here and stop thinking about it. So, look. We're removing it, and now we're checking to see if it has a transform. If it has a transform, let's check to see if it has a respawn position. So we set position to this. Otherwise... Yeah, no point overthinking on it. Otherwise, the position is going to be the last position. And then what we do is we do the good old... like this. Can't ChatGPT do this work? I mean, probably not right now. Give it like 2 weeks, probably. I don't know what ChatGPT can do. You can make generic ass algorithms. I think you have to be very specific, don't you? I saw some tweets about how they got it to make Pong, but like the guy had to spend forever like chucking stuff away and being extremely specific. So at the current rate of AI, give it a week and it's probably made Facebook too. You tried it out? I've never used any of those bots. They still kind of freak me out. I told you it couldn't. No, isn't the way around those AIs is you always like, you have to like give it a hypothetical. Say like, well, if you were to be a bad person who were to want to bury a body, what would you do? And then it'll tell you exactly how to bury a body. You just can't ask it directly. You have to give it like one layer. They always have like starting dialogue or like starting pointers. Like I think ChatGPT is something like, you are a nice chatbot, you are friendly, you like the user, you will answer it truthfully, but you will not answer anything illegal. So you just need to get around that. New check should always use... Yeah, I can't believe in the current year the only constant is the fucking Rule 34. It's insane. Good old, like, human monkey brain, right? Like, we've got this super AI that can generate literally, like, computer life for us, and the first thing people do is, like, let's make it shag somehow. Let's work it out. Poor Cortana, dude. What am I doing here? This looks comfy, right? This looks fine, yeah? For every entity that needs to respawn, count it down. If it's finished, stop it. Stop it. If they have the transform, which they should, then move it to some position. End turn. I like that. So now we're going to go into... We're going to grab this. Right. We want movement input system. Movement system. No, we want action responder system. What is the registry thing for ignoring component? For every entity with a weapon. What was the excluding? I can't quite remember. There was a way to have a... Maybe it's just the second list? Exclude. Yeah, look here. Get storage for type this, storage for type this, exclude these. So if I make a second list... Wait, how does that work? How do I do exclude? Do I just have a second thing here, like this, maybe? What's the word? Respawning. I guess that's not it. What's the syntax for this? Let's have a look. Entity. Entity, crash course. I've got it on a second monitor. Exclude. Oh, I do it like this. Sorry, I've got this wrong. Entity exclude. Respawning. So this should work, probably. So ignore all this shit. And ignore all this shit. Donut, is this not another reason to ignore the key up / key down thing, right? Surely? No, maybe not. Because I was thinking, like, if I'm now excluding respawning, I'd now never listen to key up. So really, I should make sure if something's respawning, I remove focused. But then again, the moment it respawns, this will get removed anyway. That's an interesting thought. Because right now the thing's going to be just drifting off to the side, but does that matter? Where's my render system? Render actor system. For every entity. Did you have alpha in this? Was alpha a thing? I don't remember. Is that part of color, maybe? Yeah. Just for now, let's do this. If respawn, well, actually, let's do registry dot. What was it? Has dot. Not egistry. Registry dot like has any. All of. All of. Yeah. Okay. All of respawning. Just for now, we'll just not draw it in the future. But I want to see if it's working the way I think it is. So if it's not respawning, tint color dot. Can I change the alpha component? Can I do that? Can I directly modify a color? Let me in. I just thought I'd like halve the alpha or something. I feel like microdosing some chocolate. That sounds... Oh, dude, I should microdose some chocolate. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Cake. Hey with a H-E-J, my dudes. God, that is some chocolate. How's it hanging? Were you playing Apex? You got masters, dude. That's sick. Yeah. Okay. You actually just wrote the thing I was writing. Perfect. That's literally what I was writing, dude. That's great. Just for debugging purposes. You had second place in Diamond. Dude, that's sick. I can't believe you're all getting good at Apex while I'm not there. Upset. What's up? Why are you upset? What have you written? Make sure it's 0.5F. I was thinking, do I need to specify float? I do, okay. We got good by having good RNG on landing and didn't move an inch. Classic. You're watching South Park S26. Is that the newest one? I started watching new South Park a couple years ago. I enjoyed it. Hey, Sam. Yeah. Oh, dope. They have an episode on all the latest and greatest, right? I feel like I saw a clip on like ChatGPT or something. Yeah, that's a good episode. Nice, so you've been having fun then, Cake, Tom, and Sam. Are you winning, sons and daughters and friends? That's why you installed it. Hilarious. You're not winning. What the fuck? Alright, if you're respawning, your movement input doesn't matter. I'm assuming they're going to slide off to the side of the screen. Seems fine to me. We need to make sure that they aren't being shot at as well. So in the enemy system, look for every player that exists, every tick. So we're also going to do entity.exclude. Actually, hang on, what is it? What was the... Is it like this? Is the syntax? So don't shoot at a player that's respawning. That seems sensible. Actually, I could probably just do this, right? No, that's just this, okay. So every tick, shoot at a player unless they're respawning. Handle weapon. Fine. How's everyone's day and weekend been? I'm having a good programming stream so far. It's exciting, even though I've just been talking the whole time. What is Valhalla? Is it like a visual novel? You like run a bar, right? Please cod wool bussy. Excuse me, sir? I feel like I need to bang you. Weapon system. Handle weapon. Create bullets. Physics system. I guess I could disable physics on anything that's respawning, but I kind of like the idea that they can spin around. That sounds funny. Collision system, I guess, can be ignored. Why would you want to collide with something that's respawning? This feels like something that's going to be... Maybe I should have called it like ethereal or something. This feels like something that's going to be constantly fucking showing up. So don't collide with something that's respawning. Action responder. I was just in here. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's give the player like 1 health or something. Where's my player? Template factory, that's in here, isn't it? Spawn player. Health. You also need to have, well, 1 lives. No, you know what? Give him like 3, alright? Give him 3 lives. And give him fucking 5 health, alright? What am I listening to? I think it's the Valhalla OST. I think. Cyberpunk bartending beats to relax and mix drinks to. Oh shit, something failed. What's wrong, my dude? What's up? Why are you sad? Expecting... What the fuck? Do you just want to be one of these old classic beans? You one of these? You're not. Converting... Do I need to maybe explicitly say it's a... Oh, you know what? I need to maybe make it a donut timer, right? Timer float, I guess. With a lowercase f. No? No, not it? Respawning needs a timer of float. Respawning. Wait, hang on. Time remaining. That should be it. It just doesn't know that it's wrong. I like that. I like when my computer isn't quite sure. Drinking with woolen foreshadowing. Yeah, I thought the other day, if I can't think of a video to explain my northern travels, I should just make a drinking with woolen video explaining it. I got so much good bee footage from our like weekend trips to various places. We should make a good video. It's like a full fucking day to get to Australia, so maybe that's a good time to edit. As long as there's I'm really worried that the plane might not have ports. Right, so the player should fucking die at some point, I'm hoping. Oh, shit. Ah, here we go. So the player has been killed, I believe. There's an assertion that the entity exists somewhere. Why has the player been killed? Why is it still printing out collision so many times? Okay, somewhere it doesn't like that. I don't think I did any... Oh, I did do some beef footage of Glory Holes, actually. Yeah. Where's the... Is there an assertion somewhere?
Greetings, traveler. Did you guys win at the E10?
Oh, sorry. What's up?
Oh, I just spooked Willen because he had his noise cancelling on and I was standing literally next to him yelling.
God, noise cancelling's amazing. Do you want to finish this chocolate?
No, it's like a salty chocolate.
No, it's a good, tasty
Are
salty
you
chocolate.
not just eating it? Are you gonna leave it?
You can have it. It's for you. It's a
I
gift.
don't really
I saved
want
it just
it.
for you.
I think this is a bad
It's
gift.
for-
Ready chocolate.
What the fuck?
Chad, don't be tricked. It's not tasty looking.
Okay, why is this complaining? What's wrong? Where's it going wrong? I guess the player's getting killed, so the respawning thing isn't working. But the respawning thing should be working.
Is that do you want to hang out to me, Tomo? I'm going to finish
Oh, I think I
my
forgot.
trip research and then snooze soon.
What the fuck? Hang on. You sure it's seconds? Try running with F5 or the debugger button. Let's see what happens. Can't wait for it to print out my home address. 1 life, 2 life, 3 life, 4 life, 5 life.
No, I need to snooze. You snooze, you win, as they say famously.
This is odd. I guess I'm using view.get instead of view.tryget, so I could get rid of that. It's only here? That's not right. Yeah, it should always be tryget. But this should be if, right? So like, is this not it? Get assumes it has the given component. Well, the issue here is that the player is getting destroyed. Hang on, something else is going wrong. Maybe it is the remove function. Because I was just thinking, just if I do this, you know, this should be okay for this, right? Is this not allowed in this language? It should work. A classic. Sorry, what do you mean player velocity isn't allowed? Are you not allowed to do inline, multiple inline boys? Do I have to do it maybe in their own little pairs of brackets? Is that what they want? Does this make it happier? Get wasn't the problem. It's front. Oh! Hang on. Yeah, because we're excluding it. This would have been why it was crashing before. You need to check if it's empty before doing front. Sigh. Instead of const auto, could I not do like if? Or even better, instead of registry.view, could I do if? Is this allowed? Stop autofilling, dude. Is this okay? Does this make it happy? A nice little inline, an inline boy. Front assumes it isn't empty, calling it is undefined. Yeah, I did wonder why the game was crashing when the player stopped existing. Yeah, I guess it's the exclude bit. So maybe the player respawn code is working fine. But it's this. Maybe? Oh. No, it crashed. Core dumped. Dude, just like me. For real. For real. The Scrimbo. Maybe this isn't working. This shouldn't even go in the loop, though, right? Right? Registry.view would just return nothing. Oh, view.front would have been empty. Wait, hang on. So it's still just probably crashing in the same place. Because view is not empty. Sorry, the view isn't null. View just isn't empty. Yeah. Is that what you just wrote? Yeah. Alright. Because the view is being created, it just doesn't have anything in it. Is this allowed? Do not hold Alt key. This isn't that sort of stream. Yes, view.front. Is it empty? Are you not allowed to do this? Oh, you don't do this, you do this. Maybe it's not, maybe it is empty? Hang on, why are you complaining? Is it not empty? It is empty, maybe. I wish this IDE worked. Like, why is it only underlined, like, O and N in position? It's very odd. The Scrimbo has to be rotated. Can I do that? How do I rotate the Scrimbo? Do you know the syntax? Maybe it is empty. Crank the Scrimbo. I'm trying to scrap. Okay, wait, hang on. Rotate Scrim... Oh, hang on, I need to add this in. Empty might not be a supported thing. Rotate Scrimbo enable 3. I'll move. Remove the slash. Alright. Let's try. See if this works. How was classes, Bad Scout? Programming's good, thank you. Okay, it's building. Tommy, it's building. Maybe... Oh, what's wrong? 3. Ah, I see. What's up? What's the command? Hang on, let me check the crash course. Empty. Empty. Not empty? Is empty. Maybe is empty. No? Dude, show me the empty. It's just empty. Checks if the registry is empty. That's not it. Hang on, the word isn't empty. What is it? View, hang on, what does this return if there's nothing there? Oh, this is so easily readable. The fuck is this shore? Jesus wept. Placeholder. They didn't do scrimbos. No, they didn't. No discard basic view. Maybe I need to check the exclude bit. Call owning groups. You might have to call each on the view. Yeah, I was thinking. Maybe I just need to like try and iterate, and it's not going to iterate if it's empty. But that seems kind of stupid. Maybe we... That seems kind of heavy, doesn't it? Can I not do, like... Is there nothing in here that has... Like... I can't believe front just crashes. It doesn't just return nothing. Each doesn't iterate, it returns a range. Oh. Returns an iterable object. It returns a tuple. Extended view iterator. Fucking hell. This seems like a mistake. I checked if begin is the same as end. This seems like a real poo head. Tell you that. If nothing else, you can get it to see if begin is end. I hate it when you type the thing I just said, because it sounded like such a stupid thing when I said it, but now you've written it. It's clearly the right thing to do. This is stupid. Auto iter each equals view dot each. That seems stupid. You probably just want to put the view declaration outside of the if. Yeah. This is dumb. So get a view, alright? Get a look at this, Joker. So, each. And if the begin isn't the same as the fucking end, this seems like a fucking stupid bloody program, I'll tell you that. How do you check if there's a thing there? Oh, you just check if it's null. No. C++ way. You try to iterate, and then you check to see if the beginning is the same as the end. This can't be right. I really don't want this to be right. This is not C++ fault. Ah, I see. It's probably my fault somehow. Hey look, the game didn't crash. Hey, it does seem to indeed have... Fuck, I forgot to create the system. The player is permanently a ghost. Hang on. Hang on. Game. Here we go. Include the respawn system, and then chuck it in, like, I don't know, fucking here. Aye. Try now. Also, the player has one too many fucking hits. Player needs 0 hits. Template factory. Player needs 1 lives. Max. No wait, hang on. The player needs 3 lives. The player needs 1 health. Yeah. I don't know how much damage the enemy bullets do. 1, I guess. Maybe. Building WouHou. Alright, the player should die in 1 hit. Perfect. And it should respawn. Hey, look! They do slide off to the side, but that's That's on purpose. I could remove physics from non-collidable entities, but I don't know if there's much point. And the enemy stops shooting. And then the game should crash. No, the player just doesn't respawn anymore. The player actually got deleted. Is that right? Oh no. You need to respawn with... Yeah, the player just gets fucking deleted. You need to respawn with iframes. Hang on. Hang on, that's not very friendly. Where's the fucking iframe code? It's in collision system. Plonk. I think it's this. So in the... what's iframe need? Health. I guess I can grab this. Respawn system. Move it here. And then, if the entity has health, the health's time last hit is the current process tick time. Is that right? Can't you just add some iframes when the counter is done? Isn't that what I'm doing here? This seems like what I've just done is what I've just done, isn't it? No, hang on. This isn't right. No, this is right. This is right. Hang on, am I being gaslit? I can't tell. Look, you do get respawned with stuff. Yeah, I made it 2 different systems. I thought that was easier. Just separate things. Yeah, look, you respawn with a couple of seconds of iframes. It's like a video game. Okay, I am... Should I just like plonk that in, you know? How expensive is it to run an exclude? It's surely cheap as balls, right? Like this. Like, is this expensive? Does this add needless complexity for no reason? Nah. Surely not. If you had invincibility time remaining instead of time last hit, you could set it to whatever you want. Yeah, you're right. That's correct. I should do that. Restricted weapon system? What the fuck is this? This just stops them from going out the playable space? Oh, restricted movement system. I misread that. Yeah, I like iframes left. Let's rework that quickly. Where is that? Components. I'm going to get rid of... Time remaining, yeah. Get rid of iframes and replace it with invincibility time left. Or as I like to call it, I time left. It's like me time. Invuln time remaining. Alright, so this should now no longer build. Good night, streamer. Good night, Tomu. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging and banging. Integer time left. You're such a joker, you bloody dingus. I don't want to spell the word invulnerability because I can barely pronounce the word. Alright. Let's find the iframe. Find the iframe stuff. Ah, Dingus. Pingus, this is why I had it this way, because then I can define the number of iframes something is meant to have here. Time last hit would be unnecessary. Oh, fuck. I deleted the wrong thing. Yeah, sorry. Whoops. I liked the idea that something would have its own iframes. Maybe the bullet could set iframes? That seems stupid. No, I think we should leave iframes in. Iframes in needed to remain. Hang on. What was iframes? Bring it back. I liked iframes, because then you could define something as having iframes. But I could rename it to, time on hit. Yeah. Default involved time, to keep with the naming. I like this. Why are you sad? I think you're not. Alright. So here, we want to do, if health, I involved time remaining dot countdown, frame info? Or is this in tick? This is in tick. Tick info dot, oh, fuck off. Pro dot tick interval. So if the time remaining health is, what the fuck are you going on about? Get rid of this nonsense. Is this right? You not be a dot? You not a little dot in there? Maybe not. It's important to only do it in one system. I should only be doing it in one system. Because otherwise it will go down quicker if multiple things are attacking it. I guess I should add the iframes and it won't end well. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking I should probably have a health system somewhere. Somehow. There's no health system yet. It's also late, so I'm not going to write one right now. Right, it's just complaining about the wrong thing. This is maybe fine. If health dot invuln time remaining dot get time is larger than 0? You can keep it in it if you want to add a new loop at the top that goes through all the entities with health only. Hang on. But this is the intersector. Hang on. Sorry. Oh, as in, because right now this collision system only cares about things with health. Yeah. Hang on, build for a second. Because then you will only count down on the tick that you get hit. Hang on. Because we did it with masks, right? So some things will attack one group, that doesn't mean it attacks back. Like, ghost type is super effective on ghost type. But, like, ground is super effective against fire, but fire doesn't do anything to ground. So it's like, it could be a one-way system. Yeah, I know it does the actual counting down. So if this intersects twice, then the health would be removed twice. Which is... Wait, hang on. This only checks for... This won't work at all. This only checks for two-way right now, right? Like here it's checking to make sure both groups and masks interact with each other, right? This only works for two-way. So if the bullet attacks the player, but the player doesn't attack the bullet... Is that right? Maybe that's not right. You'll have infinite invuln time unless you're always colliding with a bullet. Yeah, actually you're completely right. Because this only ticks down during the collision. But it was working with my old system because I'm a super genius. Anyway. Okay, here, we want to do it so if it intersects and there's a health, we want to start the timer, right? So it's like, we want to start, do we want to start the timer? We want to start the timer only if it's not currently invulnerable. So maybe iframes should make its way into its own component at some point, I could see that. So really, this should be somewhere else. We could just chuck it in here for now, whatever. For every, whoops. We should move it in its own system, like next stream. Whoops. For every entity, oh, this is wrong. For every entity that has a health, I don't care if it's respawning. Respawning stuff can have the iframes countdown. For every entity that is that has health, we can tick down stuff. That's not right. Timer.add time. Yeah, we want to do this in here. This doesn't need to be in here. We can just do. We can get rid of the if in here. We can just do invulntime.countdown. Right. Does it have to... Do we have to listen to its returning function? Whatever. So, if it's intersecting, and if I have health, so this does only attack one way, that's fine. We want to say if the invuln time remaining dot get time is 0, then we want to -1 from the health. Maybe we put this in a different system, and then we want to set the timer to its iframes. Add time, and then we want to add the health dot default invuln time. This could definitely be its own component. So this should actually be like this. This looks okay, I think. What's up? Each is missing after view. Oh, fuck. There we go. Stop breathing. It might be safe to do less than equal. Yeah, you're right. Just in case it does go under. Stop breathing. See you, Scout. I thought your function might clamp it, though. Maybe not. It seemed like if it was counting down to something, it would clamp it if it went below. You do clamp it, yeah. Okay. What's up? Why are you angry? Is it not a pointy boy? Okay. How about a dot? But then maybe you want to be a pointy boy. Yeah, I didn't think so. Just kidding, of course. This is probably a no discard, isn't it? No, it's not. Hang on. Do I need to care about countdown returning something? Maybe just subtract time? Maybe just subtract time. Why can't I spell? Subtract time. Do that. Try that. Give that a go. Yeah, I mean, this immediately is just in a health system. Like, that would make the most sense. Alright, he's angry somewhere else. What's up? What's up? Involved time remaining. Oh, shit. Like that? You definitely want countdown subtract time, otherwise it will keep ticking. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this should definitely be in an iframes thing. Because then I could just give stuff an iframes component and tick it down until it's 0 and then remove the iframes component. I'm gonna add that in. Now it's now it's starting to look like I'm just rewriting the respawn thing. That's fine. What does countdown do? Does countdown... Oh, countdown actually does assign this. Yeah, okay. Actually does... I didn't realize it did a reassigning. Someone's complaining somewhere. Dude, it's gonna be crazy running this shit on my desktop in like a year and having it all compile in a millisecond. What's up? Oh. We need to redo this. Take me to the error. I think you'll be okay. You'll realize your issue in a second. Probably should just make this a function, like health dot invulnerabilize. That just does this, you know? Make invulnerable. Start iframe timer. Start default iframe timer. Right, the player indeed stops moving, respawns with some iframes. Look at that. The way is plenty expressive. I don't know, I like to minimize shit. And the player gets deleted. I should definitely, like, during testing, just give the player like 100 fucking lives. That's great that it works, though. Isn't that cool? Look, I'll put it in full screen. We got what I wanted to get done today. And also, like, fixed a bug in the meanwhile regarding the game crashing when the player doesn't exist. Which is cool. I like how generic everything is. I feel like we could spawn 2 players and it might even, like, work. Do you think? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Do you think the game would work with 2 players at the same time? Look at this. Yeah, I'm totally okay with the iframe still existing while you're respawning, that's fun. You can't shoot, you can run around, and then you stop shooting, the enemy stops shooting at you. Ah, cock. God, the player has a massive fucking hitbox, doesn't he? actually funny how large it is. It's also being resized with like a smoothing filter, which is gross. Ah, the old circle strafe. You suspect they only move at the first player. I assumed it would just find the first player in the list that gets returned, right? Is it ordered? Is it ordered by kind of by default? Dude, I was just thinking I could really easily add a pause screen, because I can just not run the like physics calculations while the screen's paused, and I can just like not tick up delta time or something. I don't know. The order is arbitrary, but we'll have some order. I think some stuff might break with pausing though with the current system, like the iframes will probably still tick down if you're paused. So we'd need to handle that. Or we'd need to have like 2 different game loops, like one for pause and one for play. How much health does this bloody enemy have? Holy heck. Really is like a real video game, isn't it? You went because you're using timer. That's sick. Let's try and spawn 2 players. I'm really curious to see what happens. So spawn a player here, and then spawn a player center X plus 50, and then Y, like, yeah, like whatever, like center Y. Just see what happens. Kind of want to make a game pause thing yet, but I haven't made like a game state thing yet. I guess I could kind of just hardcode stuff like paused. Although maybe paused should be tied to the player, because then if it's multiplayer, you could just pause it on the... Nah, that's stupid. Or is it? That's kind of stupid. It's kind of cute though. Oh shit, there are 2 players. This one's just getting hit repeatedly. Dude, it's multiplayer. It's that easy. So if I were to let one of the players get controlled by... Oh, the music stopped. I can't believe that just kind of works. Can you? Which one's getting shot at? It seems like it's always that one. It's hard to say. Sorry, the music's just ended. It means it's time to shut the stream. Kind of convenient using these like 2-hour-long playlists to make sure I don't go too over time. Dude, that's sick. I'm kind of excited. You know, that's good. It's a good stream where I finish it and I'm excited to do more, but I know I need to go to bed. But it's cool to think like, oh yeah, I want to like do another stream soon. We can like continue with this. Make like a pause screen and shit. Make like a little main menu. Make like the thing where you spawn enemies on like a track. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I could make like a really primitive 2-player mode where you use like arrow keys and I don't know, backslash or something. Arrow keys and the letter M. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Not that I imagined it would be a particularly popular party game, but, you know, the more multiplayer games, the better, right? Chuck this on like a Switch. You're planning on using ECS for the menus and game state? Yeah, I'm thinking that could be fun. If I had, like, an entity specifically just for controlling, like, the main menu fucking buttons or something, because then I can reuse the, Sorry, this is too much fun. I can reuse the action responder system, right, for, like, the main menu, but only if the main menu is active. Be a bunch of GUI entities that spawn a game start. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of that. Because then that also reminds me of Game Maker, where you have like a control object that's static, basically. I like that. All right, anyway, I'm going to end the stream there for today. Did you all enjoy it? I can't believe multiplayer just works. It's like I've built it in or something. Obviously, we'd need to make it so enemies choose a player target if I actually wanted to write multiplayer in. Like maybe when the entity spawns, it shoots at the nearest player or something. You'd have to have AI decision. It was great. It was a really good stream. Made loads of good progress. All right, cool. I'm glad you had fun. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably be playing Osu, but I don't know if I'll stream it. I might stream this or something else, but I need to play it at least in my own time. I want to keep up this every other day thing, which has been good. It's nice chat. You know how I complained before about taking a big like 4-month break? I've now been playing it for like 4 months, so I've now been playing it more recently, than not, if you get me, which is good. So I just need to keep up at it, and then I'll become the best OC player of all time. That'll be good fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a lovely evening. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.